power players in Washington have just one question on their mind with Mitch McConnell out. Who's the new head honcho? The Senate Minority Leader announced that he planned to step down from GOP leadership come November. Politico reports that it appears to be one of a cadre of Johns who's set to fill the Kentucky senator's shoes. Minority Whip John Thune of South Dakota, former Whip John Cornyn from Texas, and GOP Conference Chair John Barrasso from Wyoming. The trio of Johns have been pictured with McConnell on a number of occasions, but per Politico, few GOP senators are declaring their preferred, quote, McConnell successor, preferring to adopt a wait-and-see approach to the succession struggle. South Carolina Senator Tim Scott demurred when asked which of the Johns he wanted to see in leadership, musing, quote, good question, while Missouri Senator Josh Hawley said he has no preference and is, quote, open to persuasion.
The triumvirate of Johns all come with potential pros and cons to their candidacy. John Thune has previously expressed reservations at the thought of a second Trump presidency, initially endorsing Tim Scott for president before backing the former president earlier this week. Thune has also made comments critical of Trump's involvement on January 6th. John Cornyn chaired the National Republican Senatorial Committee for 2 election cycles and was GOP whip for 6 years, giving him a clear view of McConnell's challenges. On the con side of things, for some conservative Republicans, Cornyn was instrumental in pushing gun control with Democrats in 2022. What a thing to be hated for. Cornyn has also endorsed Trump, though with the caveat his election would, quote, not be without challenges. John Barrasso was the first of the trio to endorse Trump and has been able to build a number of connections with his colleagues in the role as GOP conference chair. Barrasso has yet to announce publicly that he's interested in the job. So yeah, I was looking at the gun control legislation. It passed about a month after Uvalde. It is not that significant. It's very mild. The most noteworthy provision is apparently that it closed the boyfriend loophole. It doesn't go anywhere near as far as what Democrats would have liked. And it is telling, it feels to me, that would ever be a detriment that would go in the con category. That a month after one of the worst mass shootings that the country has ever seen, we passed moderate gun control legislation. I mean,
Republicans oppose gun control. This is, you know, a.
Do they also oppose kids being shot in their classrooms?
I think they don't believe that gun control measures would reduce that outcome, given how blessedly rare school mass shootings are and how often there are already the laws on the books to prevent these people from getting firearms, and they get them anyway. So they wonder whether further limiting the rights of law-abiding citizens to carry firearms would actually keep anyone safer. But I don't know specifically that is going to hold him back very much. I think his comment that Trump's reelection would not be without its challenges is probably the more concerning line, because absolute fealty to Trump is what matters most these days. Look, these 3 gentlemen are not, I would say, so different in terms of policy. You could maybe squint at John Thune and call him the more moderate. But again, whether you're conservative or moderate or liberal on the Republican side now doesn't have anything to do with policy, frankly. It just has to do with your position with respect to Trump. If you full-throatedly endorse him and defend him to the extreme degree, then you are considered right-wing, even, frankly, if you have other moderate positions, including on gun control. If you say Trump was a good president, but you don't like some of the things he did, then you're a moderate. If you say you're a Republican and you have a very conservative voting record like Mitt Romney, but you can't stand Trump and can't imagine him ever being president again, you're a liberal Republican. It just matters with respect to your views on Trump.
Sounds like that's trouble for Thune, who said after he voted to acquit Trump, quote, my vote to acquit should not be viewed as an exoneration for his conduct on January 6th or in the days and weeks leading up to it. What former President Trump did to undermine faith in our election system and disrupt the peaceful transfer of power is inexcusable.
And yes, you want to know how much chance he has of becoming the minority leader? This much chance.
Despite pivoting in just the last week to endorse Donald Trump?
Too late. So, that's how it is. Now, this role matters a lot, obviously. This is it matters. McConnell had tremendous power to choose which campaigns are getting funding from his his PAC where to direct the GOP's financial resources to help, in states where it's called the Senate matchups that, that we went through in 2022, Arizona, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Nevada. How much more money, could we get half a percentage point closer in Nevada if we sent some money here versus sending it somewhere else? That kind of prioritizing decision-making strategy was all on McConnell. So it's a very important role in terms of recapturing the Senate, holding on to the GOP's. They have the House and they're imperiled in that. Obviously, other people make decisions in the House, but it's a very, very important job, and we will see who's going to ultimately end up getting it. It will be the person I should suspect who gets along best with Trump. That's what's happened in the House since their shakeup. There were all these different people competing. What Mike Johnson has going for him is that Trump seems to really like him, and he seems to say the right things about Trump, and he doesn't get any criticism in that direction, and that's what matters.
Look, Trump having a good relationship with the Senate leader would be a change of pace. McConnell is famous for having these disagreements with Trump having attacked his wife in some pretty significant ways. Do you remember this? Mm-hmm. When Donald Trump said his wife, Elaine Chao, is Asian American, he said, "Does Coco Chao have anything to do with Joe Biden's classified documents being sent and stored in Chinatown?" Her husband, the old broken crow, is very close to Biden and the Democrats, and of course, China.
Important to remember that Elaine Chao was a member of Trump's cabinet that he selected. So, another one of those examples.
It's pretty incredible what everyone will put up with.
I think the most important factor in picking another person is to have their name not start Mick, because we've now had McDaniel fall, McCarthy, McConnell's out. Ronald McDonald not going to be the choice for minority leader.
Well, odds are good that his name starts with John.
I guess so.
But are there any other possibilities?
Well, Rick Scott of Florida was clearly interested in the role last time round, and it's curious that I've not seen his name so much in this last 24 hours. Honestly, I think someone, not these three, someone else could absolutely emerge. I don't see any reason specifically to think. And there's no strong preferences being publicly expressed right now. Nobody's rallying around one of them. I think it could very much be some other candidate. And on the speaker side, Mike Johnson, I don't think anyone had heard of him until he kind of came out of nowhere to very impressively please everyone, Trump, the other members, the Freedom Caucus, everybody else. So whether that figure exists in the Senate and is someone other than the people being mentioned currently could very well be the case. There are obviously a lot of people in the Senate, Republican figures who are well known on the national stage, like Tom Cotton, like Josh Hawley, like J.D. Vance, like Lindsey Graham. We see a lot of these people interviewed on TV. I'm not sure any of them necessarily want this job because it's not a behind-the-scenes role, but it's an administrative role, and they're all kind of in front of the camera people. So we shall see. That does it for us for today. Tomorrow on Rising, I will be sipping mojitos on a beach in Mexico. That's not true. I'm just reading what's on the TV screen. It's not the case. I'll be here in D.C. still enjoying my day off. But Amber and Jessica will be in the Rising Fridays chair. By mojito, I mean nice beer, and by Mexico, I mean my couch while I play Baldur's Gate. Our writers are having some fun with us, and we're going to miss them. We actually have two staff departures happening this week. Two of the people who've been very instrumental in helping to make the show, so we are very grateful to them and wish them the best of luck in their future endeavors.
Indeed. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss any content. For those of you who like to listen while you're on the go, we're now available anywhere you listen to podcasts.
See you later.
Take care.